people's opinion of you is none of your business, nor should you make it yours. You get in a lot of trouble worrying about what somebody think about you, when really, what difference do it make? The majority of people who have a negative viewpoint of you really don't even know you.
At some point, stop interrupting me. You've done it like 4 times. If you do it again, you can't stay on. Okay. So at some point, she has done it for free.
The makeup industry will never go out of business because women understand that their inherent value is typically tied to how they look.
Nigga, what?
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before I get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out. If you're looking for the music to the intro and you want the link to the second channel, both are below in the description. But can you do me a favor? Hit the notifications button right now. All right, guys, you've seen the previews. Let's get to it.
Done it for free, whatever I've done.
You know what I'm saying though. Like at some point she has done that for. At some point she has done that for a guy that hasn't taken her on a date. Or at some point,
I'm not gonna say every guy that I'm
at some
upset
point,
with.
stop
100%.
interrupting me. You've done it like 4 times. If you do it again, you can't stay on. Okay. So at some point she has done it for free. At some point she has done it for a guy that she chased, or that she didn't have to take, that he didn't have to take her on a date. And so you're gonna have the next guy do all of this because of your past trauma.
She is absolutely right. Hey, you gotta like the way she put her in check. She took control over her show. But she's right. A lot of these girls out here, you are giving it up to a guy who's doing nothing for you at all. And you've been giving it up to a guy who's doing nothing for you. But based off of what he does with you, if he don't marry you, if he treats you bad, then you raise your standards for the next guy going forward, even though you're hurting the worst. What does that mean? That means that all the pain that you go through is actually devaluing you because it's causing you to have more baggage. So the more baggage you go through with the guy that you're giving it up for free, the more you tag on to the guy that you're making pay for it. This is why guys cannot stay inside of a desperate situation too long, because you're going to be tricking one way or another. You're either going to be paying for expensive dates, or you're just going to be paying for it out of pocket. Either way, you're going to be paying for it when you don't make yourself of value. Why? Because a woman's going to eventually start charging for it if she feels like she's been giving it away free too much. This is why after a bunch of guys, they don't mind charging, and they don't even care who knows that they're charging.
You belong to the streets.
I don't, but bye.
Oh, yes, you do.
I don't.
You can say, ma'am, you're going to be all over the place because you just made yourself look like a fool.
How?
You're having a conversation with somebody. You pick up a phone, start texting, and this is what you are when the shit get. It doesn't, ma'am. It doesn't matter.
This is just one of those situations when it comes to Kevin. He likes to take and put the people in check too whenever they get out of line. See, one thing that you guys have to learn to be is assertive. That was the point of that video. He's showing you how to be assertive, especially whenever it comes to a woman. A woman likes a man who is really assertive. So sometimes when women do little things and they're going to be semi-disrespecting you, like interrupting you while you're talking or stopping you while you're talking, especially when you're speaking of something serious, she's just seeing how much she can get away with, but she's not doing it consciously. It's something subconsciously that you do. So whenever that happens, you have to be able to remind her that, hey, you're going out of bounds, no matter what the situation is. This is going to require confidence and skill, and this is something that Kevin Samuels managed to do the best.
Okay. Because it's the reason why women are looked at as beauty objects and men are looked at as success objects. So, the makeup industry will never go out of business because women understand that their inherent value is typically tied to how they look. So I get what you're saying. I go to school, I'm educated, etc. But I don't think women understand that success, money, status, it's elective for women. It's just a plus. But for a man, it's mandatory for you to be attractive. There's reason.
That sums it up. That pretty much sums it up. That's probably one of the biggest arguments that goes back and forth between man and woman. See, women are always looking at men as being privileged. What do I mean privileged? Which means that they already know the business of survival. That's what women are jealous of the most whenever it comes to man, is that man knows how to survive, and she feels vulnerable that she doesn't know how to survive. So she's trying to learn how to survive. In order for a woman to survive, she has to take on the traits of a man. So instead of coming out saying that she wants to be a man or just starts acting like a man, she looks at what a man's doing and she tries to emulate it at her best as a competitive nature. The problem is women have made the competitive nature with a man cultural to the point where they forgot what it's like to be a woman in their relationship with a man, what it's like to be a partner in a relationship with a man as well, and work together as a team, because they're too busy trying to be combative with a man to prove that they're equal. What they're not realizing is men don't want to be with other men, and we're talking about straight men here. But women think that a man is going to be attracted to the same things that she's doing, because what she's doing, what most women are doing, they're becoming the man that they want to marry. Men can see that they're pulling out these masculine traits, but she's hoping a man like her, because she likes a guy that does the same thing that she does.
To 50K. Men who are broke, they're broke for a reason, and it's because they don't have a certain mindset.
You're 27, he's 22. How do you know you really got this guy if you haven't got a ring? Because at the end of the day, he could wake up tomorrow and tell you, actually, I want to go for a younger girl.
Yeah, if my support can make him go from 10K a month to 50K a month, then alone, my support is worth $40,000 a month.
But is your high value man allowed to cheat?
No.
Why?
See, these type of girls are the type that just talk. When they're saying like, oh, if I'm supporting him and his value goes up, then yes, I'm worth that. It doesn't work that way. You're not gonna, that's where women don't get it. What women do is, when you see a man that you know is gonna be successful, you try to come along and try to give advice on little things. At the end of the day, women never start businesses. You never see a woman start a business, but she'll definitely walk into your business and try to talk like she know what's going on. That's what this type of girl is doing right here. She's trying to talk like she knows what's going on. Like, oh, if I was in a relationship and this happens and this happened, then it'll go. No, the man already has it locked in. Once he has it locked in, he don't even need help from his woman. He needs her to take care of the little stuff. That's the house, that's the cleaning, that's the kids. See, men, we want to zoom in and make all the money and then give it to the woman for her taking care of the household and being a good wife, because men don't really want to spend it on anything but like fast cars and things like that. So he really wants to make a lot of money, but he needs to lock in on his job. And what a lot of women do is they don't allow the man to lock in on his purpose in order for him to create a value to where he can take care of her, because they're demanding too much out of him in the relationship. This is how a lot of you guys get stuck working a 9-to-5, and then you become a baby dad, or you get in a relationship and get married, but you have to stay at the same job for long periods of time because you've tagged on more bills. Once you start having kids, then you're going to be tagging on more bills for food, clothes, going out, doing things. So you're not going to have enough time to save money. And that's one of the biggest things that slow guys down. So when the guys do make the sacrifices to become successful, there's nothing a woman can do to come in his life and make him more valuable at all, because he already has it.
Do you think that women are property?
When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
That is something that happens, yes.
So you're giving her away. Does that not sound, at least in some way, semi-related to property at some degree?
Some form of ownership, yes.
Form of ownership. Does the Bible say the husband owns the woman? Does the Quran say that the man owns the woman? This is all ancient. All the things I'm saying are things that were largely accepted by society forever.
Exactly. We repeat this stuff over and over and over again. But one thing that we have to understand is that the world is changing. It is going into a different direction, and it would not be going backwards at all. A man don't really necessarily own a woman in marriage. Nowadays, in order for women to understand, you got to kind of let them run free for a little bit and watch them fail in order to teach. They still take on the mind of a little girl, regardless of how old they are.
Yeah. Are you now, if you get in a relationship with a woman, and she had posted those photos 2 months prior, you know, or whatever amount of time prior, when she wasn't in a relationship, are you now telling her and like being turned off and almost getting the ick from her having those photos up.
He didn't have to tell me.
How would you feel if you bought a brand new car and the dealer told you that you had to keep the for sale sign up?
He's absolutely right. This is the same thing when you guys get in relationships and you got your girl walking around here like some type of streetwalker looking like a thought. On one hand, you're like, I got a beautiful girl that all the guys want. But on her end, she's like, look at me. Let's see how many people want me. Let's see where all my power is at. That's what a lot of you guys are aiming for. You're trying to get with these girls that you know all the guys want. They're just advertising. You're saying she's still for sale, even though I got her. This is why you guys don't keep the woman. You don't sit down and tell her like, listen, I ain't trying to tell you to cover all the way up, but I don't want you advertising for other guys. If you are, I'm just going to have to end the relationship. That's simple. And it's best that you break it down that way because you want to stop a bad relationship at the beginning of the relationship. You don't want to be holding on, hoping that she change in the future. That's what a lot of you guys do. You hold on to these bad girls because you're scared to be alone, but then it's later down the road, she's got so adjusted to you that it's hard for you to see her change at all. And she ain't going to change. And the moment that you try to get her to change is going to be the moment she ends the relationship. And she holds that above your head the whole time she's with you to keep you in simp mode. Hopefully you guys got the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.